Steel Scrap Kingdom Midnight Headlight. uh, how do you like these form of videos? Scrap Kingdom Dark Edition. Okay, what can we talk about today? I know what we'll talk about. Do you ever hear that channel, Semperfi Mechanic? So, I am Semperfi Mechanic. My name is Thomas. He says it that way. He's kind of like looks like a short, stocky kind of guy. Kind of bald, sort of. A little on the chubby side. Anyway, he's a mobile mechanic. And, I feel his YouTube pain there. His, instead of like making perfectly clean videos, the guy gets like all dirty and greasy and stuff like that because, he's doing roadside repairs or repairs in strangers' driveways and stuff like that on the cars. He makes roadside calls, parking lot calls, house calls, etc. Life of a mobile mechanic, I guess, right? But I noticed a lot of comments in the comment section on his channel. People are ragging on him about having raggedy tools and Harbor Freight tools, and I guess a couple of his comebacks to a few commenters were, it's not the tools that make the mechanic, it's the mechanic. Which is true. You can show up with all the nice, deeply in debt Snap-on tools, all shiny and like impress the viewers on YouTube and even your customer. Like it looks like you know what you're doing. Like one of the comments was, man, you've been at this for how long? Wait, he starts out, I don't have it written in front of me, so. I love your videos, but man, you've been at it for how long? How many years? And you still have raggedy tools? Well, like if you're working in the elements, rain, snow, whatever, your beautiful tools are not going to stay beautiful for long. Your nice, shiny Snap-on tools. No, they're going to get gnarly. You're not an inside repair tech, with all your tools wiped down and clean and kept in a nice toolbox in a clean, dry environment. This guy is outside in the elements. And his tools look like it. They look like my tools, like the guy like raided the compound or something like that. Toolboxes and digging around for... King, nobody's tools look like yours. True. And to put those on YouTube is a huge mistake on my part, because people look at like a really rusty pair of pliers. Oh, you left that out in the rain. Yeah, a few times. But usually those kind of tools are, they already started their life out with me as a piece of junk that I found at the curbside. Somebody was throwing it away for a reason, and they already were in pretty bad shape to begin with. And I just give them a final chance at life before getting scrapped. all the screwdrivers and pliers and vice grips and stuff like that, rather than just throw them in the scrap pile. If they're still functional, well, that doesn't mean you could just leave them outside and get rained on and more ruined. No, I do bring them inside, but uh, usually they're in such poor shape anyway. I don't care. I'll find more. People throw away tire irons and, 4-way tire irons and pliers and screwdrivers and wrenches, pipe wrenches, constantly. To the point where, well, I'm getting off on a tangent here on myself, and I was starting out on some of the YouTube channel, people commenting on them, but all right. You could take those to a flea market, and people aren't going to buy that crap. The kind of junk that I find at the curbside. And if they do, it's for pennies and quarters and stuff like that, which it ain't worth it. It's more worthwhile for me to use them until they're completely gone and to just throw them in the scrap pile. But anyway, back to Thomas. Semper Fi mechanic. My whole point of this YouTube During Dark, Scrap Kingdom Dark Edition, is talking about how that channel, being kind of, quote, real, all right, gets the haters. And with the haters, it kind of slows the velocity of the growth of your channel because people see all the flaws and stuff like that. I could see where that guy could completely, polish his channel to the point where, just for YouTube props, have, a nice shiny work van and all kinds of, shiny Snap-on and Matco tools and stuff like that. But then that wouldn't be real now, would it? But that's my point. People watching YouTube, I would say about a good 50% of them, they don't like to watch the struggle. Like his latest video, Semper Fi mechanic, he's working on a GMC pickup truck, and he's doing a wheel bearing hub removal, and he's got I don't know, he ran into a little bit of a stubborn nut and bolt problem, and that was those screws that come with the rotor. I forgot what kind of screws you call them, but a lot of times, especially in the northern states, the rust belt, those things will not break free. I don't care what kind of tool you use. They are rusted solid. So he's got to bring out the gas wrench or the torch and heat them up, because I think he busted one of his tools and or damaged the head on the screw going into the rotor. He had to remove the brake caliper and the rotor to get to the wheel hub assembly to begin with. But yeah, then you get the commenters saying that you need an impact driver, blah 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 blah, take it apart. Now, don't matter what kind of tool you're going to use on something like that's that rusted out or that rusted together. That thing is not coming apart. That and when he was removing the wheel hub bearing assembly, he's using a cold chisel and a hammer, and he's banging on that, and then he's spraying a PB blaster on it to kind of try and loosen things along a little bit. Things are a lot different in the South, where your cars are not rusted so badly that these kind of problems are not really an issue. It's more of a regional thing. It's a northern thing. Anyway, that's why my overall point here that I'm trying to stress is that's why I kind of like that channel. It's it shows the struggle kind of. Although he does edit it quite a bit, so you don't get to see everything, I suppose. And that's about enough said. That's all I wanted to comment about that channel. Am I boring you all? These videos kind of like don't do really great, but I figured I'll keep trying and see where this goes. Kingdom After Dark. Kingdom Dark Edition. I actually think that people would rather watch Barry Dreamer and Sun Garage rather than this. Where the guy like walks around and talks to the same freaking cars time after time. He talks to his cars. He goes walking around and shows the same cars he's been showing for the past, I don't know, 10 years of making videos as they sink further and further into the soil. I think one of his comments on his video from, I don't know, a long time ago, I remember reading, somebody wanted to buy one of his classics. He's like, none of them are for sale. They're for my YouTube channel. Where the cars are the star. So I really think that guy, that right there, that one comment right there actually provided a little insight into Dreamer and Sun Garage. That I think that guy thought that starting a YouTube channel would be a simple and easy way to make thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm going to have this old car collection, a static junkyard, and I'm going to go and walk around and record some of the stuff that I do. Didn't work out there for you, old Barry, did it? Too funny. There's a couple of review channels that are always reviewing his channel. And Dreamer and Sun Garage is at the point where the guy is constantly posting gaming videos. He goes online and we know what he does, King. You go online and play the video game. Like GTA or whatever. Wow. I'm not a gamer, so it always strikes me bizarre as, I guess there are a lot of people, so I'm not trying to offend you all. It just strikes me as bizarre that there's a 62 or 63-year-old guy playing video games online, but apparently that's a big thing. You know what I mean? Because I guess people of that generation are, they came up with some of the, when they were younger, I guess, the first video games like Pong. I guess it was supposed to be like a tennis type of game. Well, it was really crude sort of graphics where this like little digital puck or ball would go back and forth between players. Boop, 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 boop. somebody missed hitting it and it would get through the goal, in quotes. It would go, boop. So the opponent would get 1 point, score up there, then it would start over again. Boop, 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 boop. That, and then, more advanced games like Pac-Man and Centipede. And then shortly after that, Mario Brothers. And then from there, it's just the games and the graphics just got to be like, wow, this is really wow. This is lifelike. To where it is, today. Sorry if I offended anybody, but once again, it just strikes me as odd that people that old are into playing video games, but I guess it's a thing. So I'll leave it alone. I guess that's normal. I mean, my daughter's boyfriend is he's really big into gaming and stuff. He's got his own gaming room in the house and stuff like that with the chairs. He's got 2 chairs, for if a buddy comes over and they'll play together, or they'll both play online, and headphone sets and the gaming chairs and the consoles and and the larger screen TV on the wall, and the blackout shades, for the windows, so the room is completely dark, even in the middle of the day. It's like you go in there, and it's like a cave. It's a cave in it. When they're both in there, I've walked in there before, to give them a water or whatever. My daughter's like, oh, my boyfriend and his buddy, they want a water. Just go hand them to them. So I open up the fridge and grab a couple of bottles of water and open up the door and toss them in there. It smells like man sweat and farts. And like whatever fast food was being eaten. Sorry, that's my biased opinion of gaming. People, in a dark room, Hey, I'm not crucifying somebody else's form of entertainment. King, what do you do for entertainment? Nothing. Literally freaking nothing. Maybe making YouTube videos, but besides that, I'm all about work, and work is not entertaining, to say the least. King, you need to get out more often. And no, actually, that's stressful for me, because I feel out of control then. I'm the kind of person that doesn't do drugs or drink because, not because I'm so much against it, it's just the fact that 24/7, 365, I always have to feel like I'm in control at any moment of any given day. If that makes sense. That, and I don't know, the responsibility of raising kids. To me, a parent should never be high or drunk, because God forbid something happens to one of your kids. They fall at home, or whatever. They get hurt playing outside, or you're away from home and they get hurt, and let's say you don't have a phone on you or whatever, I don't know. You need to be able to be completely stone cold sober, and straight minded to handle that kind of given situation. In my opinion, I don't know. People will argue otherwise because I've had these arguments with people before. But I think as a parent, you need to be stone sober 24/7. End of argument. You mean you can't go out? No, no. You can't go out to the bar and get drunk or whatever. No, no. You can't have a few in the barbecue and well, hey, to each their own. They can. I just know that I can't, or I couldn't. That's my mentality. I'm just sharing it with whoever is watching this silly video, and I don't know how I got off on this tangent. How did I get off on this tangent? I went from talking about Semper Fi Mechanic to talking about being stone cold sober all the time. Which I think some people just can't handle that, you know what I mean? Like they need to get the buzz on. Like me and the wife and my best friend from childhood and his wife, we all went out and stuff like that, and everybody had drinks. Except for me. Because, well, first of all, I think the wife likes that fact, okay, because she could have a few or several and not worry about driving. But the other two, they both had several drinks, and I'm like, wow, you drove all the way up to Joliet, now you're going to drive home, and I'd be like so paranoid of even having just one half of a beer. That's how paranoid I am of like getting pulled over. You know, you don't even have to have one hit of a joint or even a quarter of a can of beer. You could have nothing in your system whatsoever, and you could still get charged with a DUI. You can get pulled over, and if the cop really wants to, they can charge you with a DUI. Now, that means that your car gets impounded. To me, that's a big deal. Your car goes, because now you have to come up with a lot of cash to get that car out of the auto pound. And now your driver's license is in hock, okay? And now you have to deal with the court. And now you got to get a lawyer. Yeah. No, thank you. It's a thing. You don't believe me? There's plenty of YouTube videos with cases just like this. Like that one YouTube lawyer, Hugo Lord. I think that guy's kind of funny, but yeah, he's got videos on people that have been pulled over and arrested, car impounded, and they are completely stone cold sober. And apparently, what I've learned from watching hundreds of these videos is do not take the field sobriety test. You know, where they make you walk, a straight line, and the eye thing with following the pen, because it's a test that's guaranteed to have you fail 100% of the time. And that's about all I have to say on that, because I'm no expert on it, but that's what I've learned and observed from YouTube University. Do not take the field sobriety test. Because you are going to fail 100% of the time. Or at least That's what my conclusion is after watching hundreds of those videos, and I don't know why I'm watching them, but me watching them makes me even more paranoid. I already come lately, you know. All right, guys. What else do you want me to yap about? My main thing was Simplify Mechanic. I like that channel. I enjoy it a lot. He pretty much shows the reality of repairing on the spot on the road, which is a lot harder to do than, you know, working in your own garage, or if you had your own shop where you have all the tools at the handy, including a workbench, etc., stuff like that. Yes, you could build your own workbench in a van and stuff like that, but nothing like working out of your own garage. It always is a lot more challenging to try and repair something on the road because you are kind of limited, and it's not like you could work on it and then you get stuck and you want to walk away from it and then come back to it. It's not that kind of repair. You at least have to get the car up and running and drivable. And sometimes that's not always so easily said and done. I've thought about trying to like start a mobile, you know, repair type of business. You know, with you know, a full complement of fairly simple tools and stuff like that. You know, getting batteries jump started and flat tire changes and stuff like that. But imagine me running into like the problem that I ran into the other day with my my own truck. You know, stripping out a lug nut and then breaking out a hammer to go and break the stud off. I mean, can you imagine the customer watching that shit show? He'd be like, "Who is this guy? I'm not paying you." That would be my look. King, you're being so negative. I've thought about this like hundreds of times. Like, it would be a way of making money, but I don't know, guys. It's a completely word of mouth and job that carries with it a reputation. You know, people will badmouth you if you like you looks like you struggle, or if you kind of f up the job a little bit. Should I try something like that? Well, like a side gig to a side gig to a side gig? How would you go about getting started doing something like that? Like, you know, being like a simple job, mobile mechanic, flat tires, batteries, jump starts and stuff like that. You know, ran out of the gas situation. Maybe, you know, electric car that ran out of juice. You know, bringing, you know, like a generator and stuff like that to power them up so they can drive a couple of miles to the nearest charging station, etc. I think that might be a thing, actually. I think I might have just thought of something right here on YouTube. I think that might be an up-and-coming thing. People that run completely out of juice in their electric car, and then you go and rescue them by using a generator to power them up so they have a couple of miles range to get to a charging station. King, they already have tow trucks for that. Well, yeah, I guess you could do that. It'd probably end up being about the same amount, right? Calling a tow truck to have the electric car towed home. You know, and a lot of people have a roadside assistance free free towing plan, so yeah, I would be competing with that. I just thought about that. As I'm making the video, I just thought of there'd be a great idea to do something, and I just thought of like, oh, well, maybe it wouldn't work anyway because ways around that already exist, which were established for gas cars, and be no different towing your electric car back home where you could charge it up there. But then again, maybe somebody's too far away from home, and towing the car home would cost $200 or $300, whereas providing a mobile service with the generator would cost, maybe I would charge like, I don't know, $120. I have to think about this. Comment in the section. Share your thoughts and opinions. Oh, I thought the lights disappeared. What's happening to the lights? That's weird. They're fading in and out. That's bizarre. I've never seen that before. Huh. Weird. I don't know. Scrap prices are low. So, and the price of copper took a plunge last week. It dropped about 40 cents a pound in my area. Like, it took two dives. First dive was 25 cents, and then the second dive was 15 cents a pound. I don't know what that's all about. But then Bitcoin was like almost $100,000 a coin. Right after Trump got elected, well, it was like kind of going up a little bit, before the election. And like the last week before the election, it really started going up. And now I think it sits at, well, last time I checked, it was like 96,000 something. It got all the way up to like 99,000 or something like that, and I think it's backed off a little bit. That and gold and silver are way up. And the Canadian dollar is like really cheap. It's 71 cents. What's that all about? And the British pound is way down too. It's $1.25. What's going on there? I think it's a race to the bottom. Because supposedly the dollar is losing.